Kanupriya Verma, on behalf of Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, welcome one and all and good evening to all of you. Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, PLCS, is a non-profit and non-religious organization working for the promotion of literature and culture on virtual and real platforms. PLCS is founded by Dr. Shaminaz Bano on 23rd August 2020. The word progressive in PLCS means moving forward with innovative ideas but keeping intact with old values. The mission of PLCS is to enhance peace, love, multiculturalism, multicultural understanding, and brotherhood among different nations. PLCS has organized various multilingual and multicultural poetry and literature festivals. Team PLCS has organized some humanitarian works to support people in need, like homeless by natural calamity. It has organized workshops, seminars, and discussions on various issues of human existence to educate masses, raised awareness against various social problems by discussions and workshops. PLCS has organized Filipino poetry reading to promote indigenous problems of Filipino poets. The motto of PLCS is "Entire universe is my family." And so, with this in mind, PLCS India presents poetry reading of global female poets, women poets crossing the boundary. So I request Lucila, convener of the event, to share her views on women across the globe. Lucila.
Hello everybody, welcome. I am really happy to be here with all of you today. It's an evening that is very dear to me. But before starting, I would like to present Kanu, my co-convener. Dr. Kanupriya Verma is currently working as assistant professor in the Department of Applied Science at Dr. Shakuntala Mishra National Rehabilitation University in Lucknow in India. She's a poet and creative writer who has many articles in different journals and books across the country. And of course, she's a valuable member of PLCS. She's the India coordinator. I would like to talk to you a little bit about the evening, our topic. Why do we want to have an evening only for women reading? In a male-centered culture, for centuries, women have surrendered to silence and have been placed outside the frame of official culture, limited to their roles as mothers and caregivers. The preponderance of art and literature by male is a given fact. Until the 1960s, the women to succeed had to toughen up, to degender, and refuse the innate feminine. It's just not before the 1990s that a new generation of female artists and literates rediscovered the unswerving vocalization of difference in gender, celebrating the display of the feminine as an art language. Until the 60s and for many centuries, women were sharing their voices, their art, only around the fireplaces, in the kitchens. And a new kind of language developed, in my opinion. It is a kind of feminine language, and in my opinion, and of course it's very personal, the way that women express themselves also through poetry somehow has this very long thread that passed through centuries and millennia of women gathering among themselves. And to affirm affirm our voices today, it becomes also a way to be vehicles, semiotic vehicles, to create a new reality, a bridge between the mundane and the private sphere. What I would like to say today, I would like to mention the very first poet, the very first known poet in the history of the world. It was a woman. Her name was Eneduanna, and she was a princess and a priestess who lived about 4,300 years ago. She was the daughter of the Akkad King Sargon, and she is at once a mystical and heroic figure. She is really the world's oldest known author, and her works were written in cuneiform language. What we still have of her are 3 pieces, just little extracts of 3 pieces. In each of these, she steps forward to speak in the first person. She is the very first author to speak in first person. She is a very well established historical figure, and she was the high priestess of the moon god Nanna, but her poems talk about the goddess Inanna, and the way she talks about Inanna is very powerful and very strong. She puts together all the feminine voices that different voices of women not only as the beauty in itself, the delicate figure or the mother, but women also as strength, as power, as warriors, and there is everything inside of her, and this is what I would like to celebrate today. You here, all of you here with us, beautiful women, beautiful voices from all over the world, and particularly beautiful light warriors. The very first person that I'm going to present today puts together what exactly Eneduanna was doing, poem and music. So we're opening today with Iva Santini. Sorry, there is a fly. Iva Santini is a beautiful singer. She writes her own, and poet. She writes her own songs, and she learned Celtic harps and ukulele to accompany with the music her text. She likes to dive deep into the spaces within many dimensions inside her bodies. She travels to those landscapes and then transfers those images and energies into her words and her music. She has a master in applied art, and she started various projects of coaching, art, movement, and she's also very, very careful with eco-sustainability. So what she's singing tonight is Unlocked Dreams. It's a song that expresses how she experiences art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So, Iva, it's your turn now.
Okay. Thank you. So I will sing another song. I sent the song for the reading, but I will sing one song that I wrote in winter time, and it's about summer. Summer breezes always here. You hear them calling you. Never forget the sun from the sandy cloud. Summer breeze You can hear them calling you. Never forget the sound from the sandy summer breezes always here. You can hear them calling you. Never forget the sun and the sandy summer breezes always here. You can hear them calling you. Never forget the sound from the sandy cloud.
Eva, thank you. Thank you. That was very beautiful. Very beautiful. You know, first of all, I forgot to say that Eva comes from Croatia. And last year, Eva, together with Valerio Orlic, put together a program which went on for several months through the whole lockdown. Every Saturday we had marathons of several hours of poetry. And thank you, Eva. You know that I love very much the delicacy of your voice and also the lightness of your verses. Thank you so much. I enjoyed to listen to you, as always, a lot. Thank you. It was a beautiful gift to us. Thank you.
Thank you for your invitation. It was a pleasure. And also, this is Lika, my friend's daughter, and we are here in a beautiful mountain area of Croatia, and I think it was perfect environment for the song with the nice summer breeze that now I'm experiencing. And when I wrote the song, it was in my heart in the winter time in Germany, so it was.
So I want to say hello also to Nika. Thank you again. And now I go from Croatia, I cross the sea and I go to Italy. I want to present my beautiful friend Sabrina De Cagno. Sabrina comes from Piacenza, Italy. And Sabrina is an award-winning international acknowledged poet. She's literature teacher, translator, and co-director of St. Christopher Poetry Museum, the very first museum of poetry in the world, the only one of its kind. Years spent in Africa gave rise to her underlying theme in poetry, namely resistance to adversity. Her first book, Libera Nostra Malo, was published in 2020, and Sabrina also won a very special award with that book. Maybe she can tell us about the award. And she will read for us a poem, Marbles. Sabrina.
Thank you very much. Lucilla is a very dear friend to me, and thank you also to Kano for this invitation. Yes, the award was the first one in 2019 in Bosnia, Herzegovina, La Piuma, the feather of Zivko Dragovic. and the second one is this year Cameliore Festival. I'm going to read Marble. The sloping hall filled with noise, astonished bodies embraced, roll like marbles, releasing the knee. Stop shouting, silence. I wanna listen. Sunsets and night secrets, the freezing foam, the teeth of the parrotfish gnawing coral, the ticking of the hermit crab on the shore, when water is still hot at the ankles and ray hides in the sand. Is this the sea transparent up to the roots where mermaids graze and desert fishermen swim in apnea with long colorful skirts, faster than a flash, grabbing treasure for lunch, of noisy slow boats, in plate of warm and tasty bread. I feel asleep in this dream, man, after following curious dolphins and sparkling fish, like torches in the night. But now, at the bottom of the blue, I'm cold. I no longer feel my hand in yours. I listen to the big trees of the islands, praying, while I'm looking for you. Thank you.
Sabrina, that was very touching. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I want to give you a special hug, a abbraccio forte. Sabrina needs to leave, unfortunately, but she will stay with us. Her heart will stay with us. Abbraccio, Sabri.
Thank you very much. And embrace to all of you.
And I give you the word to Kanu for presenting the next guests.
Thank you, Ruchira. Next, I would call upon Helen Sarita, who is the author of Speaking Heart and Corner of Blossoms Journals, to present the poem. Helen? Helen, are you there?
Kano, thank you. Thank you, I'm here. Okay, thank you so much, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my fellow poetesses from different countries around the world. Now I'm going to read this poem to you. Actually, I have read this several times, but I think I still need to read this poem because we are all women here and it will inspire women. Okay, the title of my poem is Nothing Impossible in the Heaven Beneath. Nothing impossible in the heaven beneath. My children are my golden treasure, bringing back my thoughts to my yesteryears. My story began when I was a teenage mother. Through breastfeeding, I nurtured my first son, till no milk from me I could squeeze upon. I wish to feed him nutrients he essentially needs to abound. I laughed to provide him. My world seemingly didn't go wrong. It bled my heart as my purse was thin and empty. When those were only covered by sacks, that was how petty were we. And nothing could be found in every corner of our dinky shelter. Even tiny ashes of regrets couldn't be found in there. How bare to us it was representing. From there, I just learned to dream, though not for me, but for them. I believe it's not late to create a nest for my coming children. Behind that huge mountain, I whispered my wishes for them At night, as I gaze up the skies, I ask the stars to guide me in heading my way. I wish to be one of them, glittering and sparklingly. Yes, it was never too late to build my elusive dreams. I heard the whisper of the bees, carried by an optimistic breeze. There will be beautiful days coming ahead. And I was motivated by those dreams. I started to carry sack on my shoulder. I climbed mountains. I shouted, use clothing for sale. I made donuts, though I wasn't good enough. House to house, I was selling any stuff, just enough to have fare and offering for a Sunday Mass. And I started to pray so intensely. I dazzled myself to the city. I know I could be more than me. My potential was heavy. If they can do, why can't I? I grabbed opportunities knocking on my door. I started to level up and learn for more. I patiently carried my life. I embraced obstacles and strife. My love for my children was simply my inspiration. They energized me behind tiredness. I could afford to grin and bear behind difficulties. They were the reason why I have to go out rain or shine, as I could not stop dreaming even for a short while. Yet life never stopped teasing me. Tears were entwined in my way. Below the belt, I was being hit. My softness was abused by the wicked. For more, I learned life. And I even learned to write. I worked hard without limit. In my work, I poured my spirit. I gambled myself bravely to the challenge of this world. My journey was never being smooth. I tackled every inch of my work, yet I never whined. I continued to walk with faith, come what may. Though I fell and stumbled, it's an arduous part of my path to cross. It had to be that way, yet life was still good. And like a mother eagle, I ventured across the sea. I soared to the highest sky, rising to the great heights. The storm has befallen, but I've never been ravaged by my undying courage. Another day, another sunshine. To humanity I have to bind. My guide is my daughter watching me from heaven. In my womb also she suffered the indescribable pain I have been. Now she is the most amorous angel with her candid cheers. She shielded me with her wings. I am fearless, unafraid to venture my strength to this universe. Nothing impossible in the heaven beneath. Now I savored my own self. In every trial I never tilled until I could give them that mountain where I started to create my dreams. They are my treasure. My golden treasure is my 5 loving children, 6 including the one in heaven. They are preparing my exquisite crown as I am their endearing queen. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. If they can do, why can't I? Nothing is impossible. With these positive notes, I call upon the next poetess, Dr. Neerja Sachdev. Dr. Neerja Sachdev is an associate professor in the Department of English, SS Khanya Girls PG College, Prayagraj. She has about 40 years of teaching experience, has attended many seminars, conferences, and published papers in journals. Dr. Sachdev also has a passion for writing poetry. Dr. Sachdev, ma'am.
Good evening and good morning to all of you. I'm really thankful, Lucilia, for calling us and saying something. And just now I heard a poem by Helen. Your poem was really very inspiring. And at the same time, Eva, your voice was really mesmerizing. It was a pleasure, and Sabrina, your poem was also very good. I mean, I'm thankful to be here, and but nothing not much to say, I would like to recite one of my poems. I will. I mean, after hearing all of you, I really find myself a real amateur in this field. But yet, nothing is impossible, as just Helen said. So we must proceed with our passion. So I wrote a poem on hope, and I'll read it out to you. Hope is a ship that steers your life. It kindles the spark that gives you foresight to outline your future with full might, without tribulations affecting your hindsight. Crying over spilt milk is reminiscing. Sweet are the uses of adversity is strengthening. Every cloud has a silver lining, is infusing a dawn in life with hopes invigorating. These mottos are attached as aphorisms in mankind, always standing apart with the victim, with precepts, proverbs, and life's maxims, trying to translate hope with aphorism. Hope resides in each soul and tweets and twitters with a goal. It stands through torrid storms and lingers long, keeping your spirit warm. No matter what destiny has in store for you, you have to stand upright and foresee a hope that lies buried underneath, reminding survival of the fittest stands right beneath. Summer is vibrant with the arrival of monsoon. Monsoon showers the hopes of new growth. Winter lies dormant, but never loses hope, echoing, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Hope gives you wings to fly, to float with dreams soaring high. Hopes are soothing winds that whisper nigh, singing melodiously, be optimistic and never cry. Yesterdays are past, tomorrow never comes. Today is the present, make it a legend. Never dread the past, have no fears of future, for hope is the faith that never abandons you, dear. Hope is the recipe for success. Be strong in trouble, accept challenges and never bend. Put up your safety belts to meet bumpy roads ahead, for hope is the last thing ever lost or dead. Thank you.
Very well said, ma'am. Hope resides in every soul. Accept challenges and never bend. With this positive note, I call upon Dr. Shaminaz. Dr. Shaminaz is the author.
Kanu, Punwanti. I think Punwanti. From Indonesia.
Okay. So, next I call upon Purwanti from Indonesia to present her poem. Are you there? Purwanti? Can you hear me? Are you there?
She is there, Kanu ma'am. I think she takes the
I hope you are muted. Unmute yourself. We can't hear. How about now? Hello everyone. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry for the technicality. Thank you for the opportunity. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me, Dr. Shaminaz, who contacted me to join this meeting. In this occasion, I would like to read the poem that I sent to Lucilla a few days ago, and it is entitled Closure. Closure. The rise and decrease initiates the joyful adventure. The rooster's proud cries, the birds' big chirps, songs and whistles, the creeping breeze, the waves of the bees, the dancing butterflies, the crawling lizards, send the bats, the night birds back to their beds. and was hurt and become and again and again and again. The right tangerine in the West tells a lot about the whole journey. All kinds of things and mistakes I have done all the way. No need to be sad or full of regrets, as whatever paths were offered on the day are useful for the strength of my lungs, heart, and legs. The simple chirps of the night birds star the darkness. The soft claps of the bat's wings wow the tired ones. Time has come to have rest and be calm. The bed is waiting. My eyes are dreaming. I walk slowly, yet triumphantly. I lay down and sigh. Wish for a good night to close the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Purvanti. With these beautiful lines, I call my next poetess Dr. Shaminas. Dr. Shaminas is the author, co-author, editor, and translator of 24 international books, which includes short stories collection, poetry, anthologies, literary articles, criticism, and traveler. She holds a DPhil in English literature from University of Allahabad. Currently, she is teaching English at Rashi Tandon Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Allahabad, and has about 18 years of teaching experience. She is the founder and president of the Progressive Literary and Cultural Society. Over to you, Shamina.
Thank you so much, my friend Dr. Kanupriya, and it's been pleasure listening to the women poets of all around the world. I believe that women all over the world are same. So my field is also women literature. So I'm reading a poem which is based on women issues. There are countries in many parts of the world where still women are struggling to cater their basic need, and they are not given much freedom or liberty. So the title of my poem is Yes, I am a Sinner. Yes, I am a sinner because I am a woman. My birth is my crime, and my punishment is lifelong slavery, which I have to bear throughout my life. If I speak, it is a sin. If I laugh, it is a sin. If I cross the four walls of my house, it is a sin. If I put makeup, it is a sin. If I wear short dresses, it is a sin. If I roam alone, it is a sin. If I don't lower my gaze, it is a sin. The society sets parameter of my life, the measurement of my happiness, the boundaries of my desire, the limitation of my rights, the confinement of my personality, the length of my skirt. If I keep desire, it is a sin. If I move forward, it is a sin. If I fight against atrocities, it is a sin. If I raise my voice, it is a sin. If I break boundaries, it is a sin. If I cross the boundaries, it is a sin. When will this society grant me my real freedom? Thank you so much for listening my poem. I hope you must have been aware of Malala Yousafzai. She had to fight when she was very young to just to gain education. To still there are society where women are struggling. So thank you very much for bearing me.
Thank you, Shaminas. Very well said. There are different parameters for men and women, and women are still working and moving towards for freedom. And we can say, these beautiful poets over here, we are, we can say, the role models for women across the globe, you can say. Moving forward, our next poetess, Dr. Manisha Singh. Dr. Manisha Singh is a bilingual poet who writes both in English and Hindi. She is currently teaching English in NKVI College, Lucknow, UP, with a teaching experience of about 20 years. She has published several research articles and poems in national and international journals and has presented scholarly papers in national and international conferences. Over to you, Manisha.
Thank you, Kanupriya ma'am. And nice to meet everyone from around the world. I would like to recite my poem which is on the current scenario. So hereby I have tried to convey my feelings, rather our feelings, and pray to God Almighty to forgive us of our sins and have mercy upon us. It's a request on behalf of humanity to the Supreme Power to shower His blessings upon us by eradicating this pandemic. So my poem's title is Shower the Mercy. We apologize to you, Almighty. Be benevolent to all humanity. We seek your grace and requisition, embodiment of mercy and compassion. This pandemic is extremely hazardous. It's making all the human cadaverous. The global environment seems ferocious. Every moment it's essential to be cautious. Be generous now and tell us how to get rid of hellacious corona now. Children of yours are pleading you. Forgive us now. From this torment too, the scene is awful and indispensable. The immense loss is uncompensable. We cannot bear your retribution anymore. Lord, do not inflict this anguish. It's so. We thoroughly need, Lord, your clemency. Pardon us now and shower your mercy. Bless us with joy, health, and prosperity. We hereby vow to serve humanity. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Manisha. It's really the need of the hour for God to eradicate this pandemic so that we can move our friends on the other part of the world also, which we were planning also. Our next poetess is Manju Yadav. Manju Yadav is a multilingual poet and translator. She writes poems and short stories in English, Hindi, and Spanish language. She is a freelance translator from Spanish to Hindi and English and vice versa. She teaches Spanish as a second language in an international school in Hyderabad, India. Over to you, Manju.
Thank you very much, Kanu ma'am, and I wish a very happy time to everybody because the times are very different for everyone in the different corners of the world. And as we are celebrating, like we heard so many emotions and so many things that are happening parallelly, the women empowerment, the suffering of women, and the humanity as well as parallelly going on. So I would like to read my poems related to this only. How the whole world, whatever we do, wherever we are, however we suffer, at the end what we need is some consolation and some love from another human. So the poem I'm going to read bearing the same current title, Love at the End. At the end, what matters to a human is the sip of love to soothe his soul. At the end, what matters to a human is the sip of love to soothe his soul. Drink with a cup of feeling to cement the scars of brokenness. Sail through the valley of pain to travel the inner isle of peace. At the end, what happens to a human is to sink deeper into his own heart. At the end, what happens to a human is to sink deeper into his own heart, stop taking the paths of El Dorado. There is no charm of being true to self and discover the treasure of your own crossroads and find your beautiful insight out. At the end, the human becomes his own physician and looks around for more doses of love. At the end, human becomes his own physician and looks around for more doses of love. Oh, the love at the end brings the relief. That is enough to make us whole again. That is enough to make us whole again. Thank you.
Very well said, Bantu ma'am. Consolation from other human beings is really the need of the hour in this pandemic situation. And move on to our next poetess, Dr. Alka Prakash. Dr. Alka Prakash is a poet, critic of literature. She is a lecturer in Raju Bhaiya State University, Prayagraj, India. She has published many books, especially on women issues. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good evening to all of you. Myself, Dr. Alka Prakash. Today I am going to recite a poem titled Wedding is like the text of a letter. Wedding is like the text of a letter. Wedding is not a mere word. At every moment, at every day, months and years, we are living in this hope, little bit of whispers. After being dispersed, it is raising like a fire. After being dispersed, it is raising like a fire. And our dreams are ripened in it. And our dreams are ripened in it. Wedding is like text of a letter, in which there's many written, many unwritten, which makes us a bit busy. Oh, if there would have been no waiting, then this life would have been so monotonous, so meaningless. Oh, if there would have been no waiting, then this life would have been so monotonous, so meaningless. If there would have been no waiting, then every day this physics would have changed its form. It wouldn't have been so wide, this seat of mine. In rain, we would think about that solitary times in which we have been drenched and became more impatient. In this ruthless hour, it has been long away. Now, please come. Thank you.
If there will be no waiting, life will be monotonous. Thank you, ma'am. And move on to our next poetess, Reema Sharma, ma'am. Reema Sharma is working as assistant professor in IASC Bilaspur. She writes poems in English and Hindi. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Kanupriya ma'am. Thank you very much for making me be part of this beautiful event. Okay, Manju ma'am has talked about the pandemic. Manisha ma'am has talked about the pandemic, and I'm also talking about the same situation, but see the expressions may be a bit changed, because what we really feel is every coin has two sides. If it is bad, maybe it's something good is also there in it. So what I have felt, I would like to explain those in my words, and the title of my poem is The Change is Good. I remember the days not long back when we met the friends to live the life, hug each other to assure we are living. Meetings and eatings were the symbol of life. The doors were always open to welcome the ray of life inside, with the sense of happiness and belongingness. But the days have changed, and so has life. Now I keep away from my friends so that they can live. Now I keep away from my friends so that they can live. I have abandoned myself so that I can live. The doors are closed to let the life live. I wonder, has the life changed? Yes, it has, but for good. After so many years of yearning and wandering and hiding myself behind my friends, I feel I have suddenly broken those bars, cleaned the shadow and met with myself, the real me, with no covers and an honest smile. I feel that the closed doors have made me free, free from worldly life, free from pretending to be happy when I really am not. I remember my mother used to say, whatever happens, happens for good. And though it's tiring at times, I do feel this change is good. This change is for good. At least I don't have to mask my thoughts. It is only my face that I mask. So this change is good. This change is really good. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for this beautiful poem. Change is good. Really, there are two sides to every coin, and if you talk about this pandemic, apart from the adversities, there are certain good things also about the pandemic, and one is we all are now meeting on this virtual platform, which I think we would not have thought of also. And our families have also come closer to each other. We can spend more time with our family. Yes, ma'am?
What I'm saying is this pandemic has made this world such a small place for each other. We are right from every corner of the world. We are meeting each other.
Yeah,
it was not possible. Yeah, we couldn't have thought of meeting so many people together from all the corners of the world. It has taught us so many things. Yes.
Yes. So whatever happens, happens for good. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, that's true.
Next, I will call upon Dr. Ranjana Sharan Sinha, ma'am. Dr. Ranjana Sharan Sinha is a famous poet, author, and a well-known voice in Indian poetry in English with international recognition. She is a retired professor of English and presently research supervisor English at RPM Nagpur University, Nagpur. She has been awarded by former President APJ Abdul Kalam for a poem, Mother Nature. She has also received many other awards. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Madam Kanupriya. Hello friends, I am so happy to present my poem before you. It was wonderful listening to all of you, really wonderful poems from different perspectives. The title of my poem is Pegasus on the Wing. Pegasus, we know, is the wonderful winged stallion of Greek mythology, who is associated with poetry. My poem captures the image of his flight in the sky. So, Pegasus on the wing, oh, the power and puissance of magic, beyond the dry and cold touch of logic. Soaring over the roaring oceans in a flight full of amazing motions, higher than the luminous clouds, mostly in mysterious shrouds. overlooking the fields of white lilies, lovesome like lissom lassies, reaching distant lands, yet unexplored, a creature that the Greek gods adored. Beyond the boundaries of time and space, a symbol of ultimate freedom and grace. Yes, your Pegasus, the winged stallion, a marvel of creation and real inspiration. The great horse of Greek mythology, expressed in wonderful poetic theology. Make me fly in the boundless blue sky, on your wings of love, high, quite high. Lift me above the perceived limitations to a region full of dull stagnations, miraculous caves of my imaginations, pulsating with hypnotic reverberations. I wish to catch the alluring moon, I wish to catch the alluring moon, hanging like a big bright balloon amid incandescent silver stars and a splendor of constellations. Thank you so much for your patient listening.
Thank you, ma'am. I wish to catch the alluring moon, the these beautiful lions, and call upon our next participant, Dr. Shaista Masih, to present her poem. Dr. Shaista Masih.
Hello everybody, good evening. I hope I'm audible. Am I?
Yes, sure.
So, it's great to see you all here, and I'm really thankful to PLCS for giving me this opportunity to present my poem here. And Dr. Kanupriya and Lucilla are conducting it so well. And you know, I'm sitting here in 48, 49 degrees centigrade in Saudi Arabia. So Eva's song was like a breeze, and her background setup was also, I could really feel the greenery. So I would like to present my poem. The title is The Receding Youth. So growing old feels like wafting through the glimmering waves of youthful joy and careless times, to a shore that is brittle with fear, pain, deceit, melancholy, heartbreak. You are tired and see the beaming waters of youth losing their dreamy waves. The tides are still, and you wait for the dusk of life. The sun setting for the good or bad, who knows? Thank you.
Thank you, Shaista ma'am. Very beautiful lions. We all think of aging after every birthday. We celebrate our birthday, but then we forget that we are getting older also.
Yeah, but it's 1 year minus. So every birthday is like, you know, kind of happiness and kind of scary feeling.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yes, Dr. Nalini Tandon ma'am. Dr. Nalini Tandon.
Kanu, Shaista's daughter, Aliza.
Actually,
I couldn't see her in the participants, that's why.
Yeah, actually she has gone for swimming and she didn't come back as yet. I'm waiting for her, so as soon as she comes back, I can just let you know. Thank you so much.
Okay, next is Dr. Nalini Tandon ma'am. Dr. Nalini Tandon is a medical doctor from India. After retirement, she is pursuing her other interests, which includes writing poetry. She writes both in English and Hindi. Over to you, ma'am.
Your microphone is muted. You should unmute yourself, Nalini.
Oh, sorry. Hello, everybody. I am honored to be included in this group of such high literary achievers, but I love poetry, and I have been enthralled hearing everybody recite their beautiful poems. Mine is somewhat like Shaista's poem. My poem is called Reflections of a Woman. So I'll read it now. That mirror hanging on the wall, so silent, no frills, just facts, it says it all, so valiant. The face that stares back at me seems strange. The eyes are puffy, the lashes not fluffy. The shine has dimmed beneath the brow. Still it is mine, I know. The cheeks look deflated. Few wrinkles surround the mouth. I observe with despair. They appear so uncouth. My bust, not so round, a wee bit shaggy. The waist is broader, its slimness now lagging. The veins on my hand, like wrinkled roots they stand. The skin is dry, looks parched, and joints appear distorted. The nails are chapped. My hair has lost its gloss. It looks like a nest of white, grey, and black floss. Toes are all shaped with bunions and overlapping stumps. Without separators, they cling and they clump. The mirror tells me all, but smiles quietly to say, these are your landmarks of life. You have passed your hurdles with aplomb and style. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Very beautiful poem, Reflections on Old Age. But beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, and if we think we are old, obviously, otherwise, it's what you feel. That is important. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, next, I request Lucila to proceed on with the program.
So now it's my turn again. I am really, really impressed by everything that I heard until now. And yes, mirrors are important for us. I want to go now somewhere closer to Europe. We're going to Turkey. Maxine Arda, my beautiful Maxine Arda, she's a valuable member of PLCS. She's a Turkish poet, novelist, and essayist, a staunch advocate of women's rights. Her feminist viewpoint is reflected in much of her writing. And Maxine will read for us tonight The Cry of a Soul.
Thank you very much, Lucilda. And I'm very privileged to be with you all. And so, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. Yes, here we are to mention and talk about the women issues. And my poem is about right on the subject. In this poem, in one line, there is something that I'm mentioning. Maybe it needs to be explained. In Turkey, especially in the Eastern and Black Sea regions, there is a custom that in a marriage, if a man dies and if there is a bachelor brother, that brother marries the bride, her aunt, even when he is younger than the bride or anything. We always thought that this was a very backward Turkish custom, but apparently this goes to hundreds and hundreds years before, which proves that Turkey is a melting spot. This custom started by the Phoenicians in the history, because Phoenicians were very, very rich. And so when a man died, the wife inherited the wealth, and they didn't want the wealth to go away by marriage to another man out of the family. So it was almost a kind of law, social law in Finnish, between the Phoenicians, that the woman, the widow, has to marry if there is a brother of their husband who died, if not to the nearest cousin. So after this explanation, here I go about my poem. The Cry of a Soul. I am a stone-hearted mother. My husband, my dearest, God rest in his soul, was very young, my man, finished by tuberculosis. I was left in a helpless state, with 2 kids tugging at my skirt. She doesn't know how lucky she is, the widow forced to marry her brother-in-law. Instead, luck knocked on my door with the hand of my father-in-law. Don't do it, have mercy, I said. Girl, I long for this, he replied. In the next room, the mother-in-law, on the couch, my 2 children, on top of me, my father-in-law. I sought refuge with a different husband, left the children behind. Widowhood grows in my neighborhood. The story of widowhood grows there too. Disgraceful mother, I was called. Shameless woman, I was called. Strong-hearted mother, I was called. I was denied custody of my children. Neither my children nor my fate forgave me. I couldn't tell anyone. My shame, my sorrow, my longing, at the heart of at 38, my heart refused to beat. Thank you.
That was very strong, Mohsine. Thank you for this poem. It's the fate of women who wants to fight for their freedom. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We go now to Greece and we invite Smaragdi Mitropoulou to read a poem. Smaragdi is a history teacher, poet and writer from Greece. Her literary work has been translated in English, Chinese, Taiwanese, Bengali, and Spanish. She's going to read tonight for us Eternity.
Good evening to all. I'm very glad to participate in this lady's poetry reading. I'm going to recite my poem Eternity to you. Dressed in a white tunic, sunbeams embroidered, and bare feet along the river I walk. Dressed in a golden tunic, above the stars I rose. Dressed in a red tunic, I tasted passion over the centuries. With you, in the circle of heaven, in the circle of sea, in the circle of earth. With you, in the walls of war, in the whisper of peace, in the blonde cornfields. With you, in the sounds of music, in the homelands we loved, yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. With you, in the pages engraved inside us, in the light, in the dark, in the miracle of life. History now begins. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Smaragdi. It's a lot of symbolism in the different colors. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's now time. So, yes. It's now time for Dalila. Dalila, I know you since many years and I'm always wrong with your name. Yes.
Iawi.
I'm so sorry, my love.
Iawi.
Iawi. One day I will be able to say it. I'm always sorry. So,
You are.
Dalila comes from Morocco, and she's Italian as well. She's a poet. She knows so many languages. She's a poet. She's a language and Arab culture teacher, and she works for the FAO in Rome. She organizes and conducts since 2002 the bilingual literary cafe Jinan Argana, and she also works for the Mondial Movement of Poetry. She works also for different journals and newspapers, and she published until now 43 books, both as authors and co-authors, and even an Arab manual in 3 volumes for the International University Union Nettuno. Her poems have been translated in 13 languages, and tonight she's going to read for us Lavender.
Lucilla, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you for this opportunity to share some emotions with this kind bouquet of flowers throughout the world. Thank you so much. I'm really honored, especially this is my first time after coronavirus, and I was positive for coronavirus, so it's my first time to be in touch with the world. So thank you so much. And my poem's title is Lavender. I read it in English. So the poem says, when has the light of the lighthouse ever begged for attention from the heat of winds, or to be sometimes or forever covered by the breaker or by the broken wing? You are not a throne. You are not a throne. You are not a crown, and not even on the face of a medal. You are not the elixir of life, and not even a smile that can remain on one's lips forever either. Unfold your sails. Unfold your sails and get away from the shore from which you thought of its purity as if it was limit. Your absence will not make the towers of the fortress away. The brambles will not drive in paradise in the place of lavender. Your absence will only increase the museums of impairments, adding more idols to the shelves, adding more idols to the shelves, adding more idols to the shelves. Thank you so much.
I am really happy that your first encounter after the COVID is with us. I'm so happy about this.
I'm really honored.
We are honored because of that, and I wish for you that you unfold your sails and get away from the shore without adding more items to the shelves.
Yeah. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. A big hug to everyone, but COVID-free.
COVID-free, yes. And she got a vaccine. She was vaccinated, and she still got the virus.
Yeah. Anyway.
From Morocco, Italy, now we go to Cape Verde, the Netherlands. with the hope that she was a little while ago, she had a problem with the connection. I hope she's back. Is Gloria Sofia there? Probably she still has a problem with the connection. Then we go further, and so if she can come back, we will invite her later on. Then we go to Albania, to a beautiful, young at heart, always young, and very funny, witty, and profound person, Irina Çonkul. Irina is an Albanian poet and editor in profession. Her poems are published in many anthologies and media and are praised for originality, style, inspiration, versatility in the use of language, dialects, and I want to add, she also plays a lot. She really plays a lot with meaning and words, and makes, listening to her poems a very special, peculiar event. So she's reading for us tonight, Belonging. Irina.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. I'm so pleased being here. Thank you, Lucille, for this warm presentation of my poetry. I'll be reading for you the poem The Longing, as Lucille mentioned it. The Longing. The longing for you is here. I feel it, with the breath that doesn't arrive your own skin. I hold it, with the looks that don't enter your faraway thoughts. The longing for you is here, the young animal. What should I do with it? Sees with big eyes. Doesn't know to kiss. Doesn't know to hug. Doesn't know even to silence. The longing for you is here, a wild bird. It will find you, eat your flesh, corrode your bones, your hot blood will flood it. The longing for you is here, is being renewed. Tomorrow, I don't know what it will. It takes my body, my mind, my breath. It's here. Come to. That's all. Thank you. Thank you.
I loved also the way you read it, and I like this personification of the longing that becomes animals, birds, and it's almost like it's really passionate and sensual.
Something that eats me inside.
It is true. It is true. Thank you, Irina. And now we go to somebody who is really dear to me for several reasons, because she's not only a poet, she's an actress, and she has been my actress in a very special program that I did last year in North Macedonia. And not only, she's been also my teacher of Macedonian language. I'm talking about Kristina Svetanovska. Kristina is graduated in acting at the Faculty of Dramatic Arts in Skopje, and also in Italian language and literature at the Faculty of Philology in Skopje. She got her Master of Arts in Theatre Studies, always at the Faculty of Dramatic Arts. For 3 years, she has been working as an assistant professor for dramatic arts. Now she works as a Macedonian language and culture teacher in Nova International School in Skopje. And as I was telling, she is a beautiful actor. I wish one day you all could see her. She was a Sarah Kane, a special Sarah Kane who really turned my soul. I'm very happy that I worked with her as an actress, and we will hear tonight, do you know how distances are embraced? Kristina Svetanovska.
Okay. Hello everyone. Thank you, Chila, for this wonderful introduction. I'm so glad and I'm so happy to be part of this pure energy. Do you know how distances are embraced? First, you erase the borders, all of them, spatial and time, geographic and non-geographic, those of the mind and those of the heart, and those you do not want to hear about. Then you try to shape the void. You measure a few meters of peace and a few more of wistfulness. Your hands are drawing in the emptiness. And if you have at least a bit of fantasy as I do, if you are lucky not to be betrayed by inaccurate memories, you will embrace my distance as you embrace the closest to your heart. For it's everything that remained to us after countless attempts for closeness. Distance became our closest one. You ask me why I embrace emptiness. I tell you, I do not know what oblivion is like. I do not know what forgetting is like. I just know what distances are like, and the emptiness between them, and the particles of air in which I kiss you, and the kilometers outrun by every thought just to reach you. I told you, and I will tell you again. I do not know how to embrace oblivion. I do not know how to grip something that does not exist. You do exist. So tell me, how to turn you into emptiness? When I have you, with all your wholeness, in my loneliness, you do exist. Though I do not know how. There is no way how. If you ask me again, as the night before I left, what I write about most often, I will not tell you about wistfulness, about emptiness, about loss. These verses know how many distances they brought together, and I will tell you about arrivals, about closeness, about togetherness. Thank you very much.
Grazie. Thank you, Cristina. We couldn't expect anything less. A very theatrical poem. And distances, what are distances? Can we ever reach somebody? If the distance between 2 points is made of millions, infinite other points, can we ever reach anybody? So Gloria, I see that Gloria Sofia was able to connect again. So Gloria, if you're there, turn on your camera so I can okay, I'm going to present you now. So Gloria Sofia comes originally from Cape Verde. Now she lives in the Netherlands, where she's studying for a Master of Arts in Management and Nature Conservation. To tell her life in few words, she studied gestional engineering of environment in the Azores. She works together with journals and magazines internationally. She composes music and writes poems. She has been translated in 10 different languages and published in several anthologies and magazines all over the world. She represents her country, Cape Verde, in international congresses of literature. She's been also invited at Harvard and other universities to have conferences on gender and literature. She's reading tonight, Be Romantic. Gloria. Gloria, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
Hello, everybody. Thank you to invite me to be here today. I'm so glad all the time to read poetry and to be with you. I'm so proud to see the Irina. I knew her. Thank you, Irina. And Lucilia, you know that I love you. Thank you. And I'm so proud to be here with the women because we know that our life was all the time war. We have to flight to have a lot of things.
to have love, to have freedom, to have peace. We have to fight more and more than everybody. I write one poem. My English is not 100%, but I will try to read it in English. Is Life is a War. Hurry, I 1 minute, please. I will try to listen this. Okay. I will begin. Life is a war. Dreams shared by story, from a dry and unsuccessful world. Oh my God, I cannot write in English. I will read in Portuguese, and I will send to you. Maybe you read it. Please, can I do that?
Yes, we make an exception. You can read it in Portuguese and send us the translation in the chat.
Okay, thank you very much. I will send it in the woman.
I'm sorry. Can you please send it in English to the chat now, so we have the verses in English, everybody, and hear your reading.
I send that now. Yeah, I send that now.
She sent it in the messenger group.
Yeah. Okay. I will read in Portuguese because I'm trying and it doesn't work today. Okay. A vida é uma guerra. A pressa engole novela, sonhos mastigados pela história de um ventre seco e ansioso. Alguém quebrou o vaso antes que as rosas murchem. O líquido das órbitas alimenta o amor. A vida é uma guerra, insônia infantil. Me bata a alma. Com os dedos ele aprende palavras da terra molhada, palavras de conforto, palavras de aceitação, palavras que abraçam. Empurram palavras para que as palavras não chorem. Palavras falidas, palavras de migalhas. A vida é uma guerra. Estamos num campo minado de palavras. Música explode, rasga a esperança, quebra os olhos. Mamã, mãe, a vida é uma guerra. Mas a vida é uma guerra e eu sou vitória. Eu sou o triunfo. Eu sou uma mãe no campo da batalha. Eu sou uma mãe no ringue de boxe. A vida é uma guerra. E rosas nos sangram as palavras, as espegardas de chocolate, a lasanha enrolada no teu ego. A vida é uma guerra e as folhas permanecem verde. Verde de esperança, verde de uma esperança morta, verde de uma esperança murcha, verde sem cheiro de vermelho. Estou numa guerra com a vida, experiências com as mãos quebradas agarram os meus ombros. Recuso acreditar que o amor me machuca. Eu me recuso a acreditar que tudo que não me faz sorrir. A vida é uma guerra. A vida é uma guerra de emoções, a vida é uma guerra de medo, a vida é uma guerra para parar de amar. A vida é uma guerra, mas eu sou Glória. E eu sou filha de Vitória e mãe de Gabriel e Alice. A vida é uma guerra. Thank you.
That was wonderful. You know, even without understanding, we could understand for the way you portrayed it to us.
Thank you.
Life is a war, and I would like to read just one little piece for our listeners because they cannot read the English. By the way, you will be able to read the English, not only the people are in our chat, but there will be the book afterwards. So the reader was just wonderful. I just want to read a little part. Mom, life is a war. I am the victory. I am triumph. I am the mother on the battlefield. I am the mother in the boxing ring. That was so powerful, Gloria. Thank you. Thank you so much. And one warrior, I want to go now to somebody else very special, a dreamer also, a warrior and a dreamer. We're going to the USA and we're meeting Kimberly Crafton Kim, who comes from Pennsylvania. Kimberly is a writer of narrative essays, letters, articles, and cultural guidebooks. She's a respected leader in cultural projects. She works in several projects, local, national, international, with a lot of different organizations, all of them for humanitarian purposes, like the National Endowment for the Humanities, the Institute of Museum and Library Study, the Pennsylvania Historic and Museum Commission. She's always focused on connecting people to their own forgotten histories, to their ancestors, their neighbors, their communities, their world. Her art of writing is very personal, and it feels almost like walking between the mystics of the daily life, and then sometimes she catches little details that other people don't see, and that want to be caught, loved, and understood. She lives between the United States and several European countries. At the moment, with the COVID restrictions, she is only in the United States, but I really hope that she will come back soon to Europe, to Italy, and we are gonna meet each other for sure. And I'm not sure which poem she's gonna read tonight, so she will tell us herself. Kimberly.
Thank you. My heart is overflowing right now. This has been a celebration of relationships between each one of us, these small interconnections that have now turned into this giant tapestry that is really powerful and covers us all in these times that are beautiful, as we've heard. They're difficult, they are a war, they are a balm, something to soothe the soul as we get to know ourselves. So it is all of those things, and my heart is full. So thank you. Life is a folding. Life is a folding, like a dough. Fold in half, push, turn, again in half, push, turn. Life is a folding like of hands sitting quietly in the lap, clasped tight as if in prayer. Life is a folding of letters written to the dear, to the hungered after, to the injured by. Life is a folding like of money in the pocket, folded carelessly or with greatest care. Like of clothes neatly packed to go or hastily thrown into life's home's drawer. This folding of time, trying to make it fit into our comprehension, of dreams, tucking them away for a better time, of presence, making ourselves smaller so as not to offend. This folding keeps us busy, so busy, for we can never be still, lest something of us take up more room than it should. Life is a folding, like of tablecloths and linens and handmade doilies, everything we make to cover what is there in order to make it more beautiful. Like of window shutters, closet doors, and room dividers, everything we pull tight in order to keep the eyes of the world from seeing too far inside. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. I love the way how with everyday little things, objects and rituals and gestures, you can describe something so deep.
It's really touching, and this folds. It's a fold also in time and space, and it creates new worlds. Thank you so much.
Life is found in our most simple, repetitive movements. That is our deepest self. So thank you.
Thank you to you. Thank you. And we go to another very valued member of PLCS, Annette Tarpley, also from the United States. Annette has been writing prolifically for the last year and is known internationally. She has published 2 books, Poetry and Potpourri and 2 Hearts, and is the founder and administrator of the Passion of Poetry. It's a Facebook site. Try to follow it. It's really interesting. And is working on a 3rd book, an anthology for the site, which will contain poems from over 100 people. And her site is so big that now has almost 10,000 members. And I love very much the way that Annette writes, because she tells stories. She can see and make us see things. She's telling she's telling the life of somebody. She's telling an happening, and she starts from the description and goes down and down, deeper and deeper. And the same is for Annette. Annette sent me several poems and asked me which one should I read. I never gave her an answer because I like all 3 of them. I hope she has one now that she decided by herself, because I really like all of them. Annette.
Okay, thank you. It's very lovely to be here with all of you. Your poems are all so beautiful and deep and everything. I'm struggling. So what I'm struggling with is which poem to read, because as I'm listening to you all, I think, well, shall I go really deep, or it's kind of like when I go out to dinner and I can't figure out what I want until the last minute, I just kind of like eeny, meeny, miny, mo kind of thing. So I'm struggling with it, and so I was going to actually be really lighthearted and go into my little story and my fantasy thing that I wrote the other night called The Sleepless Queen. It's actually like a fairy tale, and it's totally not deep like y'all's stuff. It is, but it tells about me, because actually one of my moderators gave me the title because I don't get much sleep. I work a lot on the site and so forth. And then I thought, no, maybe I should go deeper, because you all have been really, doing deep stuff. I mean, I even pulled out the I'm Getting Divorced Ticked Off poem, which actually put me back into poetry. So I'll take a vote. Do you want something fantasy, lighthearted, or do you want something deep? You want deep? You want deep? Okay. All right, we'll go deep. So this is the poem that actually got me back into poetry when I went through my divorce about 4 years ago. And so it talks about the good, the bad, and then in the end, I'm strong. So just remember that. In the end, I'm strong. It's called Broken Dreams. I actually know this by heart. It's the only one I know by heart. It's 3 minutes long, but I brought it out because I haven't recited it for a while. So, Broken Dreams. A love that flourished so fresh and new. A man who promised to be loyal and true. My heart I gave you to hold and to keep. In arms they once held me as I went to sleep. Lips they merged, holding steadfast at night. The sun then, excuse me, I knew that was going to happen. The morning then dawned and the sun grew bright. You promised me you would love me for a lifetime, you said, or hearts now broken, my heart now broken with You promised you would love me for a lifetime, you said, or vows now spoken with a life together ahead. I'll just read it. The love and the marriage was so wonderful and bliss, but soon I realized something was amiss. You grew so cold in your touch I no longer felt. No love once true soon began to melt. A flame that burned so hot and true is now growing dimmer. It no longer grew. My heart you held once near your own. The house where we live is no longer a home. Soon I watched as you grew distant and cold, and wondered, will we be together as we grow old? Promises once spoken, love whispered in my ear. Come a bit closer and let me make this clear. You are no longer a man I yearn for. You are not a man I love and adore. True love and respect were never part of the game, and once I realized this, things were never the same. A man of honor, integrity, and truth you claimed to be. But soon I realized none of these things were, a man of honor, integrity, and truth you claimed to be. But then your true colors showed through, and I began to see none of these things ever were you. It was a picture you painted and a fairy tale you drew. Our marriage and reality could no longer be saved. Love and time, these things you no longer gave. Our marriage was a sham, and I could no longer see the man who once loved me was to no longer be. My beauty, you indicated, was a passing thing after promising me forever and always with a ring. That is pretty, you said? That is me? How superficial and shallow can you really be? It's the exterior you look at, not the person within, and then say goodbye to us as you widen your grin. Through the years, methodically tried to lessen my worth, that I'm so very strong and I'm giving birth to the me that I lost who once walked this earth. And your me will be that I soon will unleash, a woman whose inadequate self-esteem will now cease. Never again will I tolerate a man who dictates, a man who withdraws affection or alienates. I will no longer mourn that man I thought you to be, for you're never that man, which now I see. A strong woman I am, with beauty and grace, a woman who loves and looks beyond the face. Never again will I allow another man to define the wonderful person I am, who's faithful, true, and kind. Ideals, they once existed, returned to broken dreams. A life appeared shattered, but is not what it seems. I go forth with confidence in the midst of new dreams, dreams full of happiness, life that starts anew, embracing each day and following it through, to live my life as I wish from now on, the key factor being that you are now gone. That's Broken Dreams. I went deep.
Thank you, Annette. Very courageous, and that's exactly what we needed today. Yes, a warrior, a cry, a needed cry for yourself, for finding yourself, and I'm happy that you went back to poetry with this poem. Thank you so much, Annette. We're almost...
I really have a lot to thank him for, actually.
Yes, exactly. How to take the best from a dark situation. Very well done. We are going towards the end of the program, and there are two more poems, and it's Kano's poem and my poem. I presented Kano already to you before, but she's also a poet. So let's see what Kano has for us today. Kano, it's your turn.
Thank you, Lucilla. My poem is on silence. Hush, hush, here it comes, there it goes. And then the silence. Can I still feel your heart, beating drop by drop, into the ocean love? The soundless silence is your choice. You utter, but you can't raise your voice. Words have been stolen from your lips, that fragrance from the flowers. Wind is blowing, your solitude is growing. Stars in the night, full of bright light. Your heart is at its flight. I can feel the sight. Hush, hush, here it comes, here it goes.
Thank you. How silence can be very loud.
I request Lucilia to present her poem. She is a poet, translator, and theatre artist from Italy, and now lives in Switzerland. She has participated in many international poetry events around the world. She is an Italian representative of PLCS and convener of this event. Over to you, Leslie.
Thank you. In Italy, there was a popular song about 2 decades ago, which was titled Gianni is Crazy. And I'm writing a small series of poems about the crazy Gianni. And the one I want to read for you now is called Gianni's Lineage. I beg your pardon, I have no signs to give. May I perhaps surprise you with a gesture? I don't know. Maybe knotting my silk scarf around your neck. Wait, tell me, do you own the yarn of the labyrinth? Have you ever heard the voice of the placenta right when it falls, when out of nothing a sound is born? Stay and listen to me. After all, we're all children of the same mother. Please stay and sing me the secret of the tree, its bark, then of the sky, the blood. Excuse me again, don't let these seeds get lost to the wind. We will be forest again, you know? Heart and cherry blossom. In the world we will be present, eternal. Tiny blades of grass, and once will no longer be, we will perhaps realize the infinite. Thank you. And last but not least, we are closing with a very special person, Amelia Cayul. Amelia is a poet and singer from Chile, belonging to the Mapuche nation. She is bilingual poet and writes in Spanish and Mapudungun. She is the world ambassador of the Mapuche cultural identity and an ancestral cuisine chef. And it's a very big pleasure to welcome here tonight with us, Amelia. Amelia, are you there? Here you are.
Mary, hello. How are you? Is Chile? Mary, compulamun, compuani, muleluyu, kamapu del funuyu, compuani, muleluyu. Abulan, kinye dungu bashantu, pau, mulen, tufashiru gameo. Tachilo, pingi, San Nicolás, Chile,
Amelia, we're not listening to you. The connection seems to be lost. Okay, if you can hear me, please go out and come back again. While we say our goodbyes, I really hope you can come back and show us your beautiful instrument, which is a origin. Oh, here you are. Amelia, you have to start again. ritmo es como una trance que prende, nos tragas a un otro territorio. Muchísimas gracias, tú eres una guerrera.
Bueno, esta canción está dirigido a todos los niños de mi país porque hoy es el Día del Niño. Entonces yo le hablo en mi idioma para que ellos puedan difundir nuestra lengua mapudungún y que sigamos trabajando para ser conocidos en diferentes partes del mundo. Y quiero enviarle un cariñoso saludo a todos los poetas que están ahí, también a Dalila Obi, que también lo conozco, de hecho estuvo en el recital de poesía, así que mucho saludo para ella, que por primera vez he compartido un escenario con ella. También enviarle saludo a la doctora Sámenas y Manjú, que ha sido un gran apoyo de la traducción en español, y admiro mucho a todos los poetas de diferentes partes del mundo. A mí también, a todos los que están ahí. Y gracias por seguirme en mis redes sociales y siempre difundiendo la gastronomía mapuche y mi lengua y mi cultura. Muchas gracias. Y no sé si existe la posibilidad de que yo pueda leer una poesía, Lucila.
Un momento, yo quiero decirlo en inglés, que es que tú has dicho. Okay. My Spanish is really bad, but I can understand what she says.
Manju's Spanish is very good.
No, I can. It's not
okay.
a problem. I understood everything. I can translate everything that she said. So today it's the day of the kids in Chile, and so she sang a song that talks about children, for the children, and it's a hymn to help the children, to tell the children, please share our language, cherish our language, bring it out in the world. And then she was saying thank you to everybody, and particularly to the people that she knows, like Shamenas, Dalila, Manju, and to all of us. And she's going to read now another poem, but I am not able to translate the poem, so we will just read it. Yes, Amelia.
Okay. Este es mi nueva instrumento. Tenía uno más chico, así que es para participar, así que lo tengo acá para compartirlo con el grupo Progressive Literary.
Lo dico. That's a new instrument. She normally uses a smaller one, but now she has a bigger one, and it's a typical instrument of the Mapuche culture.
Ya. Voy a leer en español, Lucila, para que pueda traducir. Muchas gracias. Gente de tierra, desde lo más profundo que alberga la tierra, una raza de personas se libera. La sangre viendo los rayos de sol, una sangre diferente que bombea su corazón. Caminaron sendero muy oscuro, donde hubo una luz que guía su destino, convirtiendo su sangre en vino. ¿Dónde encontraremos la salida? Si no la encontramos, nuestra vida está perdida. El frío inmenso recorre nuestro torso desnudo. ¿Cómo va a aceptar nuestra raza el mundo? Es difícil aceptar la realidad, como a nuestra gente la desaparecen sin piedad. Nuestro entorno cada día se parece a un infierno, y al huecufu ya le están sirviendo, dedicado a mi gente de tierra, y somos tierra. ¡Ya!
No puedo traducir todas las poemas, but I can say just the gist of it. It's a hymn, a chant for our people. It's almost a ritual song for finding their own roots, how to find their own roots in a world where their culture is disappearing. So, thank you, Amelia. Gracias, Amelia.
Thank you. Lemoria, muchos saludos para todos y un gusto de compartir con ustedes. En mi idioma, Peucayal Marishihuevo. Ya.
incredible cook, una chefa especial. So we are heading towards the end, and I would like to thank each one of you. It has been so important for me to share all these languages, all these poems, different languages, but one single language, the language of the women, of the female identity, the female feelings, whether they came from the dreams, whether they came from the longing, whether they came from disaster, whether they came from suffering, we all share the same feelings. And I want now Carol to say the last words, and maybe if Dr. Chaminaz wants to say goodbye. And from my side, I kiss you all. Thank you so much, and thank you to the people who are listening.
Thank you, Lucilla. If this evening wouldn't end, but every beginning has an end. So I, on behalf of PLCS, want to thank each one of you for being a part of this event, and especially Dr. Manisha and Dr. Chaminaz, who has given me this opportunity to be a part of this event, and especially Lucilla, who has been a very good co-convener with me and who has put in a lot of efforts to organize this event. She was continuously sorting out the participants and each and everything she has done. Thank you, Lucilla, for that. And a very warm, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank all the participants for the beautiful poems which they have presented, the beautiful ladies, and some which we could not understand the language, but the rhythm, the mood, we can feel that. We can feel that. And last, I would like to thank once again, I would like to thank everyone, and especially PLCS, Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, for organizing such an event. And I hope that we will have in future many more events of this kind. And sorry if I have missed anyone. A very, very thank you to all of you. And Chaminaz, if you want to say anything.
Just two words. Any event is a teamwork of many people. So this was indeed a great teamwork of Progressive Literary and Cultural Society. But I must thank Lucilla and Kanupriya, who have put up so much effort. And you know, Lucilla has been continuously, like Kanu said, Lucilla has been continuously texting in the group. And though Kanupriya was not so active on Facebook Messenger, but she was continuously ringing me and asking me, even after her exam duty, even in her examination. So, and today we met so many wonderful poets with whom we have never met before, and it was so wonderful because this is the language of love, which is in the heart of every woman around the world. Hope we will meet again soon, and we will continue this women poetry and other poetic event on our platform. And it was wonderful evening. Thank you everyone. Thank you all the viewers also. Thank you everyone.